Hello, do you love patches with new content? Everyone loves patches with new content. And this juicy and spicy, very spicy patch, what am I saying, is no exception. It comes with something cool that we're going to check out really soon in this video, but before going straight ahead to the subject, I want to say sorry for the short delay on the upload of new videos recently, because my life has been kicking my butt pretty hard lately, which makes me delivering things later. I've been trying to keep working on new games videos, and I hope to have more uploaded soon for you to watch. Thank you so much for waiting and for your kind support, and I'm really trying my best, so please stay tuned for new videos. Hopefully I'll deliver more soon as they are ready, of course. Now let's talk about the patch. Besides of bug fixing and the fact that the developers keep trying to fight the DDoS attacks against official servers, which in my opinion seems to be a never-ending battle, the team has implemented some new and old items into the game, as well with a system that allows you to tie things up. That is the tethering system, which I will be showing you in the end of this video, okay? 10 gear pieces were recently added to the game with this patch. While mostly of them are purely cosmetic, which means they do not affect your character statuses, only its looks, others were added to replace a couple of clothing pieces that were designed to help you cooling off in warm environments, which means that these ones that I've mentioned in the end really do have stats and are not purely cosmetics, okay? So I'm going to show you every cosmetic item right now and the ones that replace the previous gear pieces, which increase your heat protection stats, as I've mentioned it, so I keep repeating myself. We got the anonymizer, that is the bandana with the glasses, so no one will know who you are by hiding your face. The Space Gladiator. The Canty glasses. The Aviator sunglasses. 1986 sunglasses. The annoying top hat, which seems to be really annoying. It's really tall and yeah, it's really annoying. I'm not gonna wear this. The voodoo mask. And the Shogun mask. So these are purely aesthetic. I'll let you know in a comment under my video if I ever find out how to get these then, okay? And now the non-cosmetic items belong to the Rebel gear set that can be crafted in a workbench and provides you some heat protection. The Rebel hat, Rebel bandana and Rebel pants. The items that were removed from the game are the Aram pants, that were those baggy pants that I will really never dress, to be honest. And the Sun Shield snood, that was a bandana, and both of these heat protection gear pieces were only probably used as placeholders that were eventually replaced by the Rebel gear pieces now, okay? So the developers decided to remove them from the game. The pitcher seeds and crude coolant. If you haven't played before the big HURTWORLD V2 patch was out back in January, you may haven't heard about these items. Back in the old HURTWORLD version V1, there were small bushes with blue flowers that would spawn and could be harvested, in exchange for some crude coolant and the chance of getting some pitcher seeds as well. So after the V2 came out, no more pitcher plant bushes were found in this new map, though the pitcher seeds and crude coolant were still in the game files and coding, but no one except for the admins with access to spawn these items in were able to get both of these items actually. Crude coolant became useless anyway, since no more of it is needed to cool off machines like the fridge or the raid drill like before. And since the developers didn't add another way of making crude coolant spawning anywhere, they've decided to remove it, and the seeds as well, of course. Some items came back from the dead. The team has decided to bring back to the game some of the items that could only be used back in the old version of the game. The sunscreen and the succulent cactus are some of the things that were brought back to this game, and once you reach the red desert biome, I think it's still the same way, of course, it should make sense I guess, you may want to look for succulent cactus, since they have a chance to drop seeds and always drop some sunscreen bottles. Sunscreen prevents you from dying by a heat stroke really fast, decreasing the overheating effect. You just need to consume, or literally to eat it, to protect yourself temporarily, alright? The old traps were also added back to the game. The poison trap that will release Tokar poison once someone steps on it, causing harm and a slow death if the player can't run away from the area. You will need to gather a poison sac to be able to craft this kind of trap. At least in the past, from what I remember, the poison sacs used to drop from Tokars, kind of rarely, but still dropping. And maybe developers kept it that way, I'm not sure. I need to play the game again and test that on a few Tokars and see if they really drop that rarely, okay? Because if it's for making a trap, you cannot make this something too easy to get, right? So probably, really probably, they left the Tokars dropping these poison sacs rarely. Tokars are the only animals in the game that are currently poisonous, so I think it makes sense if they keep dropping these poison sacs anyway. The land crab mine. You know what happens with this one, I don't think you need an explanation for this. Medusa vines. This is a different kind of trap that can be also used as a base protection. It prevents players from going further into your place, though they can be destroyed with an axe, so be careful because the vines will hurt you if you approach too much to them or start chopping them down. A part of these old traps, two new kinds of traps were also implemented with this patch, and one of the traps is the fake sleeper and another one is the fake airdrop. These will work as a lure to attract players and watch them die. The fake sleeper says it all actually, it looks totally like a player sleeper, or in other words, the character of a player who is currently offline, but without the player's name on top, which is basically the only visual difference between a real and a fake sleeper. This box requires as many hits as real sleeper boxes to be killed, but the only thing that dies is you. So be aware before you start to try killing a sleeper, see if it has the name on top or you're the one that will be sleeping. The fake airdrop will allow you to call for an airdrop, but instead of a nice surprise, it can be your demise. There are slight differences between the real deal and the fake ones, though I'm sure several players will fall on these traps since they usually got a rush to grab the easy loot. Okay, almost everyone has a rush to grab nice loot when it disappears a loot crate in front of you. What would you do? You'll open it, right? I actually find these traps pretty funny, really hilarious, so I can't wait to use this on other players. Last but not least, and this belongs to the tethering system that was implemented in this patch as well. The tether bow and the tether arrow. I've played games like Just Cause 3 and even Goat Simulator where you can use a tether item to tie two things together, and it can be a fun experience. In HURTWORLD, for now at least, you can only tether players in vehicles. Let me show you what you should do for this to work. As I don't have another player close to me, I will only do this with vehicles and yeah, well, myself. I can, for example, shoot an arrow to this thing, and I'll be tied up with it. Just in case someone else was driving the vehicle, I think you know what would happen to me. You can also use a vehicle to pull another vehicle. Try lifting a bike with a helicopter, for example. This can be useful to transport your extra vehicles, but also to capture a player and take him with you wherever you wish. My thought is that you can cut the rope at any time, as long as you are the one who shot the arrow with the rope. This seems to be really a fun idea, but it's a very recent feature, so it may suffer changes and improvements in the future. You can just get bugged and be projected to kilometers away from where you are, for example. Yeah, I'm not even joking, even though I'm laughing, okay? And that's all, folks. Bye bye. See you sometime soon, I hope.